How is it, Gambo, that it's 4:34 in the afternoon and we've barely talked about the night that Devin Booker had last night? How is that? What's wrong with us? What mistakes have we made today that we thought there were 2.5 hours worth of content that was better than Devin Booker last night?
40-point performance from Book. 40-point performance, and you're right. We barely even talked about it.
Yeah, and I mean, look, because it's Ryan Dunn, because of the fourth quarter, because of the, all the things that we've talked about so far, Devin Booker had one of those games last night where it was just takeover time. He was bombs away from three. He was hitting clutch shot after clutch shot. He now owns the arena scoring record in 5 different arenas that he's played in. He's the only member of the NBA. Now, a lot of this is going to change because they only played a handful of games in the new Intuit Dome. But he's the only member of the NBA to drop at least 30 points in every single current active arena in the NBA. It was another one of those games from Devin Booker where he just would not be denied.
And again, look, what I like about it isn't just the overall points. And man, you got to the end. That was one of those. And sometimes he does this to you. You get to the end of the game, like Devin Booker had 40 points. He goes, he did? He had 40?
He had 40? Really?
I didn't really even realize that. I mean, Royce O'Neal making all these big shots and Ryan Dunn with the corner threes. And you just look at it and, Book's playing it, hits a three-pointer to make it 108-105. Hits a three-pointer to make it 113-107. Couple of really big baskets for him late. Obviously, that third quarter, he was huge in that third quarter. But, you get to the end of the game and you're like, wow, that was a really great Devin Booker performance. And, I would not have, at the end of the game, I'm not watching the box score as I'm watching the game. That was one of those where I think it was almost quietly done that he ended up with those points.
Probably because it only took him 18 shots to get there.
Very efficient. Very efficient. A lot of free throws.
It didn't take a lot of work for him to get there. A lot of free throws, a lot of three-pointers, obviously. Here's what I liked about Devin Booker's game last night. For all the talk, and deservedly so, of Tyus Jones and what he's meant to this offense, there is still something magic about Devin Booker with the ball in his hand being able to find the right guy. And I know last year the turnovers piled up, and I think it's pretty obvious now that Devin Booker didn't like carrying that burden night in and night out of being point book and having to make all those decisions and having to be the guy who runs the team. That being said, and by the way, congratulations to Ron Crook. He is caller number 12. He won the tickets to go see the Cardinals and the Bears.
Very thankful that Gambo chose a high number.
So he thanked Gambo. See, Ron Crook thanked you for choosing a high number.
Thank
you from Ron.
Yes. You're welcome.
Devin Booker had 8 assists last night. Devin Booker only had 2 turnovers last night.
They really did a good job with that, with the turnovers. But, yeah, very efficient, didn't turn the ball over, had the assist. You mentioned earlier the great pass to Royce O'Neal for the 3. That was kind of the dagger. Royce hits that 3, 44 seconds left. It puts him up 6. He misses that shot. They've got the ball with a chance to tie down 3. That was the dagger. That was Booker pushing it to Royce O'Neal, getting that open look, finding the open shooter. Before that, he was knocking down some big threes. Like I said, he knocked down a 3 that made it 113-107. A little bit earlier, he had a driving basket that made it 102-101. He also had another 3 that made it 108-105 with 5:08 left. I always look at that 5-minute mark, right around there. And so they had the 3-point lead going into the 5-minute mark. So, yeah, very efficient game for Booker, and it's nice to see because he was struggling a little. Look, we knew it wasn't going to last long, but he was struggling a little bit early with the scoring those first few games.
Yeah, I kind of cringed at that a little bit last night. People on social media suggesting, man, people were actually worried about Devin Booker. Nobody was worried about Devin Booker. Nobody with a brain in their head was worried about Devin Booker and the start that he had got off to for the first 4
And even
games.
Those that don't have a brain in their head, like me, weren't worried about it.
You weren't worried about it, right? Like even the brainless, like Gambo, they weren't worried about it either. He was going to be fine. The assists, man, that really spoke to me last night. Kevin Durant, on the other hand, had a very quiet night. 18 points. Our own Kellen Olson suggested that maybe the Clippers aren't a very good matchup for him. He was sloppy with the ball. He was loose with the ball. There were some turnovers there. He only had 18 points. He played ferocious defense in the second half, though.
2 block shots in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he really, while it might not have been a scoring night for him, I thought he played a ferocious defensive game last night, which was really cool to see. But it was a quiet night for him. And
a lot of minutes.
I know you're concerned. How much are you concerned about that? I know you're concerned, but how much?
All right, so you had the whole season. You played 75 games. It was a short playoff, so you only played 4 games, so you didn't go very deep. That's a positive. You had the Olympic experience, which he missed a lot of it. Okay, he did miss a lot of it as he was, rehabbing. Then he played. I looked at the minutes just to see because I just wanted to know. He's played in 5 games. These are his minute totals: 44, 39, 39, 39, 38. Last year, first 5 games, 37, 39, 29, 37, 37. In 5 games, he's played 20 minutes more. In 5 games, he's played 20 minutes more. He's got a lot of a lot of taxing minutes too, having to play center. So having to play the center spot is a lot more taxing, I think, on him. I'm not that concerned about it, but I do hope that Mike Budenholzer sees some opportunities to not have to. I think one of the reasons you have to play him so much is that he is playing the center a lot, especially when they go small. But I'm hoping that, he's an older player with a lot of wear and tear and an injury history. There are games I want him to play minutes I want to play 28, 29 minutes. I don't want him to always be playing 39 minutes a game.
Did you see what he tweeted after the game? Great dub, Suns, and for my parlayers, better luck next time, LOL. Calling out people who probably bet on the Kevin Durant over and the Suns win as part of a parlay, and he's basically mocking them.
The guy, the players pay attention to that?
Sure. Well, especially when people tweet them and say, hey, thanks a lot, pal. I had a parlay of the Suns winning and you hitting the over on your point total and you only scored 18. Thanks a lot. And Kevin Durant is just the kind of guy who would, because athletes get tweets like that all the time from gamblers who are pissed that they screwed up their parlay.
Why?
Because they're pissed.
Why would you tweet an athlete and say you screwed up my parlay? Why would you do that?
They're angry. Because
you're an idiot.
It's the Gambo theory. They're looking for somebody to blame.
You're a freaking idiot.
I lost this money. I didn't hit my parlay.
Blame
and it's
yourself.
Your fault because you only scored 18 points.
You're really that. I mean, honestly, this is somewhat new to me because I don't follow. People tweet athletes when they lose a bet.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at the replies, and man, he just started up.
I have never seen one.
Yeah.
I have never seen one.
Kevin Durant is just the kind of guy who would take that and go, yes, screw you,
Who in this
buddy.
office would do that? If you could pick one person to tweet an athlete, who would it be?
I'm pointing to him.
I don't gamble.
You would. You're kind of an angry guy. You like to blame people, and you have been known from time to time to call people out on Twitter and go after people. You've kind of hit the trifecta.
Wow, but I don't gamble.
Am I wrong? Well, no, but if you did gamble, you'd be the guy. You'd be the guy to say, hey, man, it's your fault. You cost me $25.
You idiot. You cost me $25.
Yeah. Because you're kind of aggressive on Twitter. You used to be, at least. I think you've kind of calmed it down a little bit. But you love blaming people, and you're pretty aggressive on Twitter.
I stick up for myself. Like I do. I'm not going to let people just try. I will stick up for. So that's where I get angry because I'll stick up for myself.
That's why I'm pointing to you.
Wow. You got anybody?
My mind right away went to Danny Shapiro.
Danny Shapiro.
Right away. He
Danny's-
gambles.
yep.
He's really involved in multiple sports. He's active on Twitter.
Yeah. And Gambo doesn't gamble, so that kind of takes him out of the running. I'm just saying if you did.
Right.
Because, athletes, Google some stories about athletes who hear from fans who are pissed that because they missed a shot or because they didn't hit a certain point total. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
And you just got to.
Tyreek Hill addressed it this season in the NFL about him not performing for fantasy owners.
Right. And it's basically the same thing. People who are upset about their fantasy team, they're tweeting the athletes.
Right.
And saying, hey, man, thanks a lot. That drop cost me my championship or
Right.
whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
It's there.
Thanks for watching Burns and Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.